Coming up on Lexington Now, affordable housing, Douglas Park gets a new playground, and senior activities at the Bell House. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. Roberts, and welcome to another edition of Lexington Now, where we take a look at the news that shapes your urban county government. Lexington residents looking for affordable housing just got another option, thanks to the announcement of a new affordable housing building project on Center Parkway.
Today is a day of celebration. Today is Accountability Day. It is in the vernacular of the public school system Report Card Day. We want to share with you, celebrate with you what has been accomplished since that rainy day in April 2014, when our Board of Commissioners, Mayor Gray, along with Greg Byrne from the Washington office, literally tore from this building the brick from the buildings, and they didn't have to do much pulling.
Welcoming everyone to the rebirth of the Pimlico Apartments, now the Center Meadows Apartments. It's great to see Councilmember Fred Brown here today, and Austin's already done a great job of mentioning everybody, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention also Commissioner Chris Ford, former Councilmember, 1st District, Chris Ford, who's just done an extraordinary job in his role as Commissioner of Social Services. You know, while Chris has been Commissioner, and while we've been in this administration, we've actually doubled our annual commitment to social services in Lexington. And a lot of that, of course, has to do with diminished resources that we're receiving from Washington and to some extent from Frankfurt as well. But we're glad that in Lexington that we've been able to find the resources to double our commitment. That's from roughly, Chris, I think we're $3.5 million 5 years ago to now north of $7 million, and that includes our partner agencies.
I'm a student of history, and when you trace the history of the Lexington Housing Authority, it goes back to around 1937 when public housing began in the east end of Lexington. At that time, my grandfather was a pastor of Shallow Baptist Church on Thomas Street in Lexington, Kentucky. And through those years, the Housing Authority development for affordable housing grew around that church. So it is amazing for me to be here a second generation from that, understanding that in the 1970s, my father served as a commissioner on the Lexington Housing Authority. And at that time, many of the history of public housing, when we talk about that wall coming down, but my dad was on the board when the wall of segregation was broken in public housing in Lexington, when that fence was removed, and when we went on to scattered site housing, and we looked beyond public housing as being just a box, as Austin talks about, and giving dignity to folks. And we got into scattered site housing, where all public housing was not clustered in one area of town, but we brought opportunity to various sides of town. So I bring a sense of that history with me, and the understanding that frustration sometimes can occur for those of us of good means who want affordable housing when various strategies that were effective in the past are no longer effective. And my daddy had a saying, and Bill Wilson will know that saying. My daddy used to say, "It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness." And in many cases, housing advocates get stuck in one mode of thinking, and we can get in a public housing mode and not realize that we can still help folks when we go to housing choice vouchers or to scattered site housing or to home ownership. So it's beautiful to me to be a participant, to understand that as leaders, we must find new solutions in changing times.
You know, I've seen this place grow. It was pretty blighted 2 to 4 years ago, and this has been a welcome addition. We have over the hill, we have a Tates Creek Aquatic Center, a real nice pool that was remodeled in early 2000. that is within walking distance of here. We have a golf course there. It's a public golf course within walking distance. Then you can also have within walking distance, we've got one of the, it's remodeled and been renovated, is the Tates Creek school system, which is all on one campus, elementary, middle school, and high school. So it makes for a great livable community here. And we also have a park close to the schools, and we have a community center down there for neighborhoods to meet and for after-school programs that the city gets involved with, and also some daycare centers. We have an excellent area down there, commercial. We have Employment Solutions, which offers training to a lot of the people in this area, and that's a good plus there. And we just have a lot of things going for us. Transportation, LexTran is easy and viable here on this major route of Center Parkway.
I'm currently a student at the University of Kentucky. This is my senior year coming up. I'll be graduating in elementary education. And I like the fact that I don't fit the stigma of the people that supposedly apply for public housing. You want to make sure that you have people that are coming, that are working, that are trying to do their best, but know that it's almost sometimes impossible to raise a family and do the things that need to be done at times. And I am grateful that I have the opportunity to raise my 4-year-old daughter. I love the opportunity that I have to raise her in a facility that I feel comfortable letting her play outside, letting her get to know the other kids. And then I'm close enough to campus where I can make those rip and runs and do everything that I need to do. It's really great to be here, and I'm thankful for everyone that has put their hand in this and thought enough of people like me to make this happen. So thank you so much.
For more information about this project and others, you can log on to the city's website. It's lexingtonky.gov. Douglas Park recently celebrated 100 years, and as a part of the year-long celebration, one of its birthday presents is the announcement and unveiling of plans for a new playground.
Well, good morning, everyone. And this is a happy 100th birthday to Douglas Park. Let's give Douglas Park a big hand. Douglas Park is a great park, rich, extraordinarily rich in tradition. A favorite gathering spot that is so important to this neighborhood and to all of Lexington. Now, you know, sometimes we can love a place too much, and 100 years can kind of creep up on you. So Douglas, of course, has shown some signs of wear and tear, and that's why the Centennial Commission has been working on improvements. Today we are opening one of Douglas's birthday presents, a 100th birthday present. That's the way that Diane Marshall described it, and it is a design for a new playground, and it's a much needed playground. Construction will begin in August, and next spring kids will be enjoying it right here. So I want to thank members of Commerce Lexington's 2015 and 16 Leadership Lexington class who formed 100 Hands for Douglas Park. One of the group's projects is to raise money to provide additional upgrades to the playground. Councilmember James Brown, nobody in Lexington has done a better job, except perhaps Chris Ford. I'm going to have to say that because Chris is here. James is coming on close there. But James does a great job as a council member. His passion and his energy and his enthusiasm shows every single day. And James got the funding for the playground, has been heading up this important project, and so I want to ask him to speak next. Councilmember James Brown.
It's an exciting time in the 1st District, especially here in Douglas Park, as we continue to celebrate the 100-year milestone. The Centennial Commission has been committed to accomplishing Our goals, and one of our goals, is to work with the Neighborhood Association and Park and Recreation on a new playground. And we're here today to reveal the designs and concept of a new redesigned playground for Douglas Park. With the relocation of the existing playground equipment, it will only enhance the features in the back of the park, the rear of the park, which was a project initiated by my predecessor, Chris Ford, that includes a walking trail, a new football and multi-purpose field, new fencing, and wayfinding signs throughout the park. This newly redesigned playground will be a welcome amenity along with the spray ground, run-out slide, and other pool improvements that the mayor has proposed in his budget. This whole centennial effort has been a collaboration among multiple partners, and today's announcement isn't any different. With the Georgetown Street Neighborhood Association yearly advocating for a new playground, the First District Council Office, with the help of the council, securing the funding, and then the 100 Hands team gathering input from Booker T. Washington students. By sharing that information with Park and Recreation, hopefully by working with the Neighborhood Association, they will be able to incorporate that input into the new design of the playground.
The inspiration for the playground design came from what's commonly called the drinking gourd, or the Big Dipper, as a lot of people know it. That's the star constellation that led a lot of people north to freedom in our history. So using that form of a spiral, the site is designed in the same location as the existing playground, but it's going to incorporate new equipment that's not found in any other Lexington park. It's a new line and style of equipment that's meant to encourage additional creative play and a higher level of physical activity. It's called EVOS, which makes me think of evolution, and I like to think that this playground will be an important part of the new evolution of Douglas Park for the next 100 years. The initial relocation of the existing equipment will begin in late August, and we'll complete that first, and then we'll begin on the site and the installation of the new equipment. And as Frederick Douglass said, there is no progress without struggle. We ask your patience during the construction and promise we'll get it done as efficiently and quickly as possible. Thanks.
For more information about this playground project, you can log on to the parks page. It's on the city's website at lexingtonky.gov. And coming up after the break, we'll tell you about some exciting senior activities at the Bell House.
Hello, I'm Detective Mark Thomas with the Lexington Police Department. You may also know me from Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about a new texting system that we have available through any smartphone. In the body of your message, you can text LexPD plus your tip to crimes. When you're submitting anonymous information, we ask that you include several things that would help us conduct the investigations more thoroughly, such as a person's name, their home address, possible license plate numbers, any other people involved, or why you think that they're conducting the type of activity that you believe that they are. All of those things, no matter how small you believe they could be, are relevant to the investigation. So please include those. So remember, you can send your anonymous tip information either through text, you can call the Bluegrass Crime Stoppers anonymous tip line at 859-253-2020, or you can go online to bluegrasscrimestoppers.com. Thank you.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Fire Administration. Have two ways out. When fire strikes, deadly smoke can fill your home within minutes. That's why the USFA wants you to plan and practice home fire drills. Draw a map of each level of your home showing all doors and windows. Discuss the map with everyone who lives with you. Practice your home fire drill at least twice a year. Make sure all doors and windows that lead outside open easily. Push the smoke alarm button to start the drill. Try feeling your way in the dark or with your eyes closed. Have at least two ways out of every room. If your first way out is blocked by fire or smoke, you can use your second way out. If there is smoke, get low and go. Crawl quickly under the smoke to your nearest exit. Close doors behind you and gather at a pre-planned outside meeting place where first responders can see you. call 911. Remember, get out and stay out. Never go back inside for people, pets, or things. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Welcome to Your Health, starring Your Hands. On today's show, washing your hands. If people don't wash their hands often, especially when they're sick, they can spread germs directly to other people or onto surfaces that others touch. And before you know it, everyone has come down with something. It's important to wash your hands frequently with good soapy water. Here's some hand washing tips. Wash your hands after using the bathroom. Wash your hands after coughing or blowing your nose. Wash your hands before eating, serving, or preparing food. Wash your hands after playing with your pets or touching other animals. Wash your hands after outdoor activities. Wash your hands before and after visiting someone who's sick. Wash your hands when they get dirty. And wash your hands after changing those diapers. Thanks for watching Your Health, and remember, wash those hands frequently.
Welcome back to the show. The historic Bell House in downtown Lexington is a hub of activity for Lexington citizens, especially those who are in their golden years. Here's what they have to say about it.
Hey, welcome to the Bell House. Come on in and join us. We have a lot of good things going on, happening every day, during the week, and for months to come. My name's Martha McFarland, and I'm the programmer, activity and trip programmer for the senior adult programs here at the Bell House, sponsored through Parks and Recreation. We just want to provide programs that are for anybody that wants to come that meets our age criteria. And we want them to have fun, and we want them to learn some things and just be good about having activities for our seniors. Give them a reason to come out during the day.
The Bell House is very cordial. It includes the Monday Club every Monday, and people get to come and have fellowship, share birthdays, share prayer concerns or health concerns, and most of all, we get programs that enlighten us and educate us and benefit us as seniors.
We do big trips a couple times a year, and then we do day trips a couple times a month if possible, and sometimes more. Just depends on how I can work the schedule out.
I like it when we go out of town on short trips to Derby Dinner Theater. They put on good programs up there. And Martha's got several of them planned for us too. And I like it when they bring in country music. I like country music, yeah.
I like the atmosphere for one thing. And we have great classes here. And I have ceramics and I have art classes. And it's just a pleasure to go and be in them. And everybody that comes to the classes love them.
If I had to choose which program to learn more about the Bell House and the people, I'd start right here on Monday at the Monday Club. This club was what started senior programs back in 1967. So next year, our senior programs will be 50 years old. And so anyway, it's kind of a social club, but they have their own officers and they have their own budget. And today we have a wood carver that's going to do a wood carving demonstration. And then, you know, sometimes we have health topics and we provide like entertainment or a topic. Sometimes they bring their lunch, like they brought their lunch today, and sometimes outside organizations bring lunch for us. And when they do that, we bring a donation for the Salvation Army. So we're kind of trying to pass it on. So, and then we have all kinds of different activities. Last Wednesday, we did something that I haven't done since I've been here. And that was, we went out to Jacobson Park and we did a fishing event. But the weather didn't cooperate much. But there was probably 20, 30 people out there fishing. And then we gave prizes of fishing poles. And it was sponsored through the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. And so they were there, they measured the fish, and they provided the poles and the bait and all that stuff for us. But
now, for more information for people who want to find out more about the Bell House, where can they go?
Well, they can call here, 233-0986, or, you know, our newsletter is on the website. They just need to click on parks and then senior adult programs. So we have printed material here too, so if they want to call us, we can send it to them. We have like 1,600 people on our mailing list, so a lot of people get the word, and not everybody participates in everything. And we have a lot of regular people that come, for several things during the week.
Come and enjoy the trips, enjoy the fellowship. We have fellowship with each other, and it's wonderful here.
For more information, you can visit the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. Since 2011, Lexington has hosted a festival to honor Kentucky-born actor Harry Dean Stanton, and it's coming up this weekend. Here's what you can expect.
It's 3 days of fun and community where we celebrate Harry Dean Stanton, his roots in the community, and the film career that has spanned decades and decades and decades at this point. Well, why Harry Dean Stanton is the easiest question in the world. My relationship with Harry Dean Stanton also began at the Kentucky Theater. When I was 15 years old, I saw Repo Man there. And I remember watching the movie and just being enamored with this person, thinking he was just like the most fascinating screen presence I'd ever witnessed. And I walked out of the theater and I said, my God, who was that? What was that? What just happened? And somebody said, oh, that's actually Mary's uncle. And our friend Mary Lake, as it turned out, they were related. And they said, yeah, he's from around here someplace. And I was blown away by that fact. Like, I loved the fact that I watched the movie, that I fell in love with this person on the screen, and then as I walked out, I found out that we were actually from the same place and that he probably spent time in that very movie theater where I first saw him. People have certain preconceptions about Kentucky sometimes, which are very unfortunate and not based in any reality whatsoever. But I would always tell them, Harry Dean Stanton's from there. And people would get really excited because there's something sort of unifying and bonding about him. I mean, he's just so cool. I was a big James Dean fan when I was a kid, and I used to go to Fairmont, Indiana, which is the home of James Dean. And there's a festival for him, a 3-day festival every year, and they show his 3 films. And then when I moved back to Lexington, some friends were working on the Lexington Film League. They'd started it. They were doing an amazing job with it. They asked if I wanted to be involved. They said, what would you like to bring to it? And it just kind of popped out of my mouth. Maybe we could have a Harry Dean Stanton festival. I mean, James Dean has one and he has 3 movies. Harry Dean has like 200 movies. It'll program itself forever. When I had the idea, I recognized that I needed to probably reach out to him and make sure that this was okay, that he would in fact approve of a festival in his honor. And I asked around, does anybody know him? Does anybody have a connection to him? How can I get in touch with him? And a very close friend of mine said, what about Tom Thurman? Tom Thurman knows everybody. And Tom Thurman is an amazing, brilliant documentary filmmaker who lives here in Lexington. And so I just cold called poor Tom Thurman, who had no idea who I am. I called him out of the blue, and I said, hi, I heard that there was a possibility you might know Harry Dean. And he said, I might know Harry Dean. And I said, yeah, I'm sorry, is that not a thing? And he said, I might know Harry Dean. And I said, yes. And he said, I've actually been working on a documentary about Harry Dean for 20 years, and we're about to premiere it at the Kentucky Theater. And I thought, at first I didn't know if he thought I was kidding. I didn't know if he was kidding, but sure enough, he really had made this brilliant documentary about Harry and was going to premiere it, and so I asked if maybe we could piggyback on that and start the festival. So our opening night screening was Tom Thurman's KET documentary, Harry Dean Stanton Crossing Mulholland. We're just sort of letting it grow the way that it grows. Obviously the year that he came here was tremendous. We had people coming from all over the country, from the Northwest as far as Seattle, from the Northeast as far as Philadelphia, from the South as far as Miami, and all of a sudden we really realized that this is a national entity. Being able to have him standing up at the theater and Jim Gray giving him a key to the city and having that just thunderous applause from 800 people sitting out at a theater where he used to go when he went to UK. I think that was my favorite moment, was just knowing that hopefully it meant something to him.
For more information, you can visit the organizer's website. It's harrydeanstantonfest.org. Thursday Night Live is back and it is in full swing, and there is something for every person's musical taste. Laura Farnsworth gives us more information about what's on the bill.
Hi, I'm Laura Farnsworth and I'm with the Downtown Lexington Corporation. And we're here at the Fifth Third Bank Pavilion at Cheapside Park to talk about the 2016 season of Central Bank Thursday Night Live. season starts on Thursday, April 7th, and will take place every week through October 13th. That's 28 weeks. We've got all your favorite bands back this year, including the Swells, the Big Maracas, Charlie Shook and the Trendells, the Johnson Brothers, and more. For a complete list of bands, check out our Facebook, Downtown Lexington Corporation, or find us online at downtownlex.com. Of course, it wouldn't be Central Bank Thursday Night Live without local food and drink vendors. And one of the things the Downtown Lexington Corporation is really proud of is our partnership with local nonprofits. This year we will pair with over 30 nonprofits in a program that will give back about $30,000 into the community. These nonprofits send volunteers down. They're going to pour your beers, they're going to make sure everybody's happy, and then all of the tips you give are going to go right back to them and the good work they do in our community. Central Bank Thursday Night Live. It all happens here at the Fifth Third Bank Pavilion at Cheapside Park.
For more information about Thursday Night Live, you can visit their website. It's downtownlex.com. The warm weather months are a great time to help clean up your community and keep it beautiful. We spoke with Jim Pendergrass of Keep Lexington Beautiful to give you some tips about how to get organized and get cleaning.
I'm Jim Pendergast. I'm chair of Keep Lexington Beautiful. We are an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful, and one of our primary objectives each year is the Great American Cleanup. That's sponsored by Keep America Beautiful, and there are over 20,000 communities across the country that participate, and 4 million volunteers get involved in the Great American Cleanup. And what we do at Keep Lexington Beautiful is help organize cleanups for neighborhood associations, businesses, whomever wants to have a cleanup in their neighborhood or their area. KLB will help as much as possible for them to organize. We'll advertise on our website and some different places for volunteers, and then we can provide trash bags and buckets and shovels and other assorted pieces of equipment to help with the cleanup. We've made a lot of progress with our cleanups over the years. In 2013 we had 48, in 2014 we had 52, and we had a huge jump in 2015. We had a total of 82 cleanups during the year. A lot of that was because of Republic Services. They did a sponsorship with us, and they provided $25,000 for an advertising campaign that we conducted last year. So there's great appreciation to Republic Services for what they were able to do to help us last year, and we're hoping that carries over to this year so that we have an equal or greater amount of cleanups. Keep America Beautiful will recognize any cleanups we do during the year. So while we actually kick off the main part of it in March when the weather gets a little better, we will have cleanups throughout the year. But it'll go all through the summer, and we'll sponsor those and help anybody at any time in Fayette County to conduct a cleanup. There are a couple ways people can reach us to volunteer. They can call Louise Caldwell Edmonds. Her telephone number is 859-425-2804, or they can go to our website, www.keeplexingtonbeautiful.com.
For more information about how to get involved, you can visit the organizer's website. It's keeplexingtonbeautiful.com. We're back to a full schedule here in the urban county government. Here's a quick peek at what's on the schedule, but for a complete listing of meetings and events, you can log on to the city's website. It's lexingtonky.gov. That's all for this week's edition of Lexington Now. We'll return next week with more news from your urban county government. But in the meantime, you can keep up with what we're doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also get 24/7 traffic updates by following us on Twitter. Our handle is @LexRex. For the staff and producers at GTV3, I'm Sherelle Roberts, and that's it for now.
The preceding program was produced through the facilities of GTV3.